What if I told you that your cat didn't just choose you, but was sent to you, not by chance, not by instinct, but as a silent messenger, just for you? Most people see cats as mysterious, quiet, and independent animals, but what many don't realize is that this very nature is what connects them to the invisible. Have you ever wondered why your cat watches you in silence, as if it knows something you don't? Why it comes to you at key moments, or avoids certain people for no apparent reason? Maybe your soul shines brighter than you think, and that light, even if you can't see it, they can. They feel it, they recognize it, and they protect it. Because some cats don't come just to keep you company. They come to wake you up. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover today might forever change the way you see your cat. But even more, it might change the way you see yourself. In ancient Egypt, cats were not just pets. They were symbols of divine protection and were believed to have the power to ward off evil spirits. Bastet, the goddess with the head of a cat, was not only the protector of the home, but also a symbol of spiritual harmony. Egyptians believed that a cat could warn of invisible presences. Interestingly, during the exodus of the people of Israel, these same Egyptian peoples witnessed miracles and spiritual manifestations. Exodus 7 through 12. What if these animals were already sensing what was about to be revealed in the divine? There are moments when your cat suddenly freezes, staring intensely at an empty corner, and you, without understanding, just go on with your day. But what it sees, you cannot see, because it's not looking at something physical, it's sensing something spiritual. Since ancient times, cats have been considered more than just domestic animals. In Egypt, they were revered as sacred guardians, not for their elegance or independence, but for their ability to detect what the human eye cannot perceive. And even though we believe we live in an age of science and reason, we still can't explain why these felines react so precisely to the invisible. The Bible gives us a chilling clue. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness. Ephesians 6:12. What humans cannot perceive, these animals sense with total clarity. Dense vibrations, dark energies, or even spiritual presences that roam unseen. They don't just detect them, they respond, they tense up, they move away, or they remain still, guarding a space you don't even know needs to be protected. And here arises a question that few dare to ask. Why do some cats seem to avoid you completely, while others won't leave your side for even a second? Maybe it's not about liking you or being used to you. Maybe what they're seeing is your energy, your true essence. And if that's the case, what is your cat seeing in you? The answer might not be what you expect. Although the Bible doesn't mention cats directly, they did live among the people of the biblical world. In Egypt, where Israel was enslaved for centuries, cats were considered sacred and protectors of the home. They were even mummified and buried with honors. The respect for these animals was so deep that harming a cat could be punished by death. Now, why didn't the Hebrew people include them in their sacred stories? Some believed that because cats were so closely tied to Egyptian worship, they chose not to mention them. But that doesn't deny their spiritual sensitivity. If the Egyptians associated them with the protection of the soul and gateways to the afterlife, is it possible that their essence transcended religions and cultures to fulfill a universal purpose? Perhaps ever since then, they've continued to guard what humans still struggle to understand. You don't always understand why that stray cat approaches you every time you walk by. You don't know why the one at home insists on sleeping exactly where you are, or why it follows you silently without asking for food or affection. It just stays near, as if it knows something you don't yet understand. Many people walking through life without answers carry a hidden gift within them, a spiritual sensitivity that hasn't yet awakened, but that cats can already feel. They're not guided by appearances, words, or intentions. They feel the soul. Jesus said it clearly, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." John 10:27. That voice isn't always audible. Sometimes it's a vibration, an inner frequency that only those who are truly aware can recognize. And cats are aware. They don't need proof. When they sense that light, no matter how dim, it draws them in. They stay. They become sentinels of something that is just beginning to bloom within you. Maybe you've never asked yourself why those feline eyes watch you so intently, or why their presence calms you exactly when you need it most. But it's not a coincidence. Maybe you're more awake than you think. Maybe there's a part of you already responding to that divine calling, and the cats already know it. Studies in animal neuroscience have revealed that cats have over 200 million olfactory receptors and a hearing ability capable of detecting frequencies imperceptible to humans. But beyond the physical, some behavioral scientists claim that cats can anticipate earthquakes or sense illnesses in their owners even before symptoms appear, even if they don't call it spirit. Experts acknowledge that there is something in their perception that goes beyond the physical. And if science still doesn't have a clear explanation, could it be that the spiritual world had already given us the answer long before? If this message is blessing you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and give it a like. With that simple gesture, you help us share this word with more people who also need to hear it. Thank you for your support. Now, let's continue. You've noticed that on your hardest days, your cat comes to you without being called. It settles exactly where it hurts. On your chest when you can't breathe from crying, on your head when your thoughts won't calm down, on your stomach when your body can't take anymore. It's not a coincidence. It's not for comfort. It's for you. The purring it makes isn't just a sound. It's a vibration, a frequency between 20 and 140 hertz, the same range that, according to studies, promotes cell regeneration and relieves physical pain. But there is something deeper that science cannot measure. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147 verse 3. Maybe it wasn't a doctor who came first to comfort you. Maybe it was a small guardian with bright eyes and soft paws, sent by God as a silent extension of his care. Because sometimes the wounds of the soul can't be spoken out loud. But cats feel them, they understand, and they lie on them as if their bodies could absorb what you can no longer carry. Some people believe that miracles only come in the form of light or words, but sometimes they come as a cat lying on your chest and in its silence, reminding you that you're not alone. Science also has something to say, even if it can't explain everything just yet. Studies have shown that a cat's purring not only soothes those who hear it, but also lowers blood pressure, slows heart rate, and stimulates the production of serotonin in the brain. Research published in Frontiers in Psychology indicates that cats can detect subtle changes in voice frequency and micro-expressions on the human face. In other words, they can read our emotions better than many people can. And when that ability is combined with their energetic intuition, it's no surprise that they often know how you're feeling before you do. Science may not speak of spirituality yet, but there are things that are felt, lived, and only understood with the soul. There are nights when silence is suddenly broken by an unexpected meow. For no apparent reason, no one's at the door, there's no noise outside, but your cat senses it. Its fur stands up, it becomes alert, stares into a dark corner, and all you can do is watch, not understanding what's happening. You're not alone. For centuries, it's been believed that cats are more than domestic animals. Padre Pio, known for his deep spiritual connection, claimed that these felines watch over the doors that separate this world from the invisible one. It's not fantasy, it's sensitivity, it's discernment that needs no words. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Psalm 91:11. And if those angels came with tails and whiskers, would you accept it? Because some guardians don't descend from heaven in beams of light. They curl up at the foot of your bed, right when the night feels heaviest. Some guardians don't speak, but they watch you with a gaze that says everything. Your cat doesn't avoid that room out of whim. It doesn't grow restless at midnight out of habit. It does so because something else is moving, something you can't see, but it can. And this is where everything becomes deeper. What if your cat isn't just protecting your home, but protecting you? Stay until the end, because there is a silent sign, a clue that few recognize. But if you see it, you'll know you too are one of the chosen. In the Middle Ages, cats went from being seen as spiritual guardians to being persecuted by superstition. They were associated with witchcraft, and many were exterminated because of human ignorance. But deep down, what was really being destroyed? A spiritual sensitivity. The enemy knows very well which signs must be silenced. Maybe that's why beings who perceive the invisible have always been rejected by those who only see what their eyes allow. And the same happens with people. As the word says, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. John 1:5. Has your cat ever hidden the moment a certain person enters your home? Or on the other hand, approached someone you just met with inexplicable trust? It's not a coincidence. And it's not just animal instinct. Cats perceive beyond words, beyond appearances. They read what even humans can't hide, the intention of the heart. Just as it's written in Proverbs 20:27, the spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths of his heart. What you don't see, they feel. Unspoken tension, lies disguised as smiles, indifference wrapped in kindness. None of that fools a cat. That's why, when your feline reacts with rejection, discomfort, or even aggression towards someone, don't take it as a whim. It could be sensing a frequency that doesn't align with the peace of your home. And when it acts calm, loving, or relaxed, it's because it's recognized more than just a presence. It has felt peace. In many ancient cultures, it was said that cats could see a person's aura, and even though science still can't explain it, the Bible had already spoken of this invisible reality, that the human heart holds intentions that only the spirit can discern. Maybe that's why cats were considered sacred animals in so many civilizations, because they acted as mirrors of the soul. And you, if you watch them closely, can also develop that sensitivity. Sometimes wisdom doesn't come through words, but through attentive silence. And when your cat walks away or stares at you intently, it might be trying to show you something your spirit already senses, but hasn't fully awakened to. Maybe, if you begin to see the world the way your cat sees it, you'll discover that you too can sharpen your discernment. Not out of fear, but to protect your peace. Because not all visitors come wearing only shoes. Some bring energy with them. And God, in His love, sometimes allows the smallest of His creation to give us the warnings our eyes aren't yet ready to see. All around the world, thousands of people have reported experiences with cats that go beyond logic. A woman in Italy said her cat didn't leave her side during an entire night in which she went through an emotional crisis, only to discover at dawn that her mother, who had been hospitalized, had passed away at that exact hour. Another case in Argentina tells how a rescued cat alerted its owner to a kitchen fire while he was sleeping, meowing and scratching his chest until he woke up. Coincidence? Maybe not. Because when God wants to speak, even the quietest ones become instruments. And as Jesus himself said, if they keep silent, the stones will cry out. Luke 19:40. Now that you know, do you still believe it was just a coincidence that your cat came into your life? Maybe it wasn't just a pet. Maybe it was a sign. a silent presence placed in your path to awaken something in you that had been asleep for a long time. Throughout this journey, you've discovered that cats don't just see what you cannot see. They also feel what you have yet to recognize. They sense the soul, guard invisible portals, heal in silence, and read you as if you were an open book. Remember that time it stared into a corner of the house, still, eyes fixed? Now you know it wasn't just a reflection or a trick of the light. Maybe it was a warning, maybe it was protection. And when it curled up on your chest, just when you needed it most, now you understand it wasn't just affection. It was a divine intervention, channeled through a small, whiskered guardian. Even those times when your cat avoided someone who seemed kind, maybe it wasn't out of whim, but out of discernment. And you can learn to see as they do if you start listening to what your soul is keeping quiet. God is always speaking to us, but not always with thunder. Sometimes he does it with a gentle purr, with a piercing gaze, or with a quiet meow in the middle of the night. As Scripture says, "For the eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him." 2 Chronicles 16:9. Don't ignore the signs. Maybe you are one of those chosen ones with a unique sensitivity. One of those souls God is awakening, and he chose to do it in the most subtle way, through a cat. If you made it this far, thank you so much for staying with me. Don't forget to subscribe and share this message so more people can understand the spiritual purpose behind these extraordinary beings. See you in the next message. God bless you.